The Broken Kingdoms, the second installment in Jemisin's The Inheritance trilogy, shows you how important point of view is. She has changed point of view radically. Did you enjoy our protagonist last time, our last first person narrator? That is not our protagonist anymore. In fact, we're going to see that person fairly early on from the outside. From that position, she and other characters we knew well and had a strong opinion about in the first installment of the trilogy look very different. We are we are literally changing viewpoint. If the first novel was set at the top of the city of Sky and the palace of Sky at the top, looking down or looking out into the clouds, as far from the earth as these people can actually be, which is considerable considering their fantasy magic. Where we're now in this in shadow, the city, Yena's world tree cast in shadow. We're now on the ground looking up, literally a change of perspective from looking down or looking out to looking up. Um, I'll never go back to the top of Rhodes Tower again if I can help it. Meet me somewhere closer to street level. We're also going to encounter a world that is post-imperial, where a power, an existing authoritarian power, has broken up. That takes up the story of what happens after after the big bad, the emperor, the whatever, is finished. It is a standard trope in fantasy and science fiction to end with the climactic battle in which the evil king, emperor, grand khan, lord of darkness, chief vampire, level boss, what have you, is defeated, ending that entire political regime. And as and that is taken as like all you need to know, that regime is over. So tomorrow everything will be great. History, including recent history, not just recent history, but definitely recent history, shows us that actually that post authoritarian moment is complicated. It is both rich and novel. New things are happening as they are happening in this novel. It's a much more exciting and interesting world down there around the roots of the world tree in the city of shadow than it was up in that sterile white pristine palace. On the other hand, it's dangerous and messy. Jemisin has lived through the post-Soviet transition in Central and Eastern Europe. Why? Great thing. I'm also that generation. Great and amazing things happened. Terrible backsliding happened. Nothing was given. The thing when the emperor goes away, happiness and freedom and democracy and law and order aren't just given to you. And but things are more interesting. The same thing is certainly true, and Jemison would certainly never mind the post-colonial transitions, especially of African but also of Asian countries, very much undermined of places that left European colonial rule, that transitioned away from formal colonial rule in the mid to late 60s. And all of the kind of complications and narrative busyness that ensued. And I don't mean to make light of difficult historical stuff, but you'll see if you're a novelist, well, you're creating a lot of narrative. Our new hero, Ori, is our new protagonist, is navigating a world. She's seeing it. She's literally sees things differently than we do. And she is trying to make sense of a kind of new world order, pardon the phrase, a new dispensation of a set of political and social arrangements that nobody really has their head around. The fact that a Tempest has been overthrown, and man, he's been overthrown. Um, if you don't see a Tempest in a new way after you're done with this novel, um, I suggest you read it again a little bit more carefully. But the Attempins aren't gone. Of course they're not. Of course they're not. Welcome to what happens to the world of the 100,000 Kingdoms after Yena has overthrown the old Aramari power, after a Tempest has been overthrown. Things are not going to happen in a linear or predictable way. That's how you get a good second novel in your trilogy.